So, Scream 7. Let's talk about it. I'll be right back. So, Scream 7. Is it good? Is it bad? Let's talk about it. Now, just before we go ahead, yes, I want to mention if you haven't seen Scream 7, there are going to be spoilers. So, yeah, just warning, spoilers ahead. There will be spoilers. Now, let's get back to the video. Yeah, so before I even saw Scream, I heard a lot of bad things, obviously, and TikTok and Instagram doing, people on social media doing stuff what they normally do when it comes to a big franchise is immediately spoiling it for anyone. And yeah, as soon as it comes out, it's like, oh, let's video in the cinema a scene. Let's immediately spoil the film. Yeah, so I knew who Ghostface was. Maybe that would have maybe that actually helped me kind of liking the story because I knew what was going to happen. Maybe I would have not liked Scream 7 as much if I didn't know who the Ghostface were. Yeah. But when going to watch it and looking into it more, I found out that apparently a lot of people actually like Scream 7. They kind of have the same opinion that I have, which is the story-wise, not counting the Ghostface for real, kind of okay, yeah. Like it's a decent story, and then towards the end it kind of just drops. And that is because the Ghostface are kind of lackluster, and they're also using a fan favorite character, and they don't even bring him back. Yeah, they're like, no, he's dead. Which, why? Like, because that's what you heavily imply in the trailer. Surely you knew what was going to happen when you used a fan favorite character saying that he was Ghostface when he wasn't. Like, surely you knew what was going to happen. Was this to set up like Scream 8 so everyone thought that he was dead, and then like that's where you could bring him back for Scream 8? What was your decision for this? Now, yeah, I think at least Jessica was a decent like Ghostface. Maybe not for this story, because this story was heavily implying someone else. If she was in a different story, then it could have worked out. She had a motive, unlike the old guy who was like, I'm good at AI. But why did you want to kill Sydney? Did Jessica manipulate you? Why are you there? What is your motive? Yeah, at this point, the guy who was just a psychopath at the very beginning has more sense of being a Ghostface. He just liked killing. What is your reason? Now, yeah, with that, the main kind of thing that I think ruins the story because they just didn't act on it is Stu. Yeah, the amount of references or hints that he's alive, yes, at the very beginning, the guy's listening to a podcast and they mention the cameo that Matthew Lillard did in Scream 2 of like that being Stu, and then a shot that I immediately picked on was the camera lingering on the TV that obviously fell onto Stu Macher's head, and yeah, the ominous music playing. But yeah, once again, they didn't act on it, and then just like, he's dead. Another thing with, every time an actor, I felt like, whenever they're like, maybe Stu is alive, another actor would immediately come out and be like, nope, he's dead. Just immediately after that word was coming out, yeah. It just felt weird, because to me, there was way too many Stu references, and then for them not to bring him back, it just felt weird. I'm like, what? Why, at this point, why have him at all? Now, I will say, there were some things I liked. It was cool that they brought Sydney back, because obviously she's the original, yeah. It all started with her, so that was cool that they brought her back. Some of the Ghostface kills, they were cool. Now, I will say, in the theater scene, I don't know if it's just because the light reflecting on the costume, but Ghostface looked glittery, which was kind of funny. Also, Joel McHale being in it, which is just great. There, that man can do no wrong. Animal Control, Community, also making the second Community star to be in Scream, because Alison Brie was in Scream 4. Now, another thing I will say I kind of liked, but then also was like, I'm guessing because maybe they didn't want to de-age the actors, because it never really goes well with audience, or they just didn't have the money for it. But yeah, when the other like character or Ghostface or friends came back as to like taunt Sydney, they look older. Like, obviously they don't need to be, because they're not pretending to look like they're still alive, like Stu, who was also kind of cool that they added the scales. It just kind of felt pointless for then him just to be AI, to add that detail and then like, nah, he's dead. Yeah, but it was cool that they added the scars because obviously the TV falling on his head. It just sucked that it was AI and they did. Yeah, that's what they chose for that bit. But yeah, it was cool that they had like some of the actors come back. Like obviously you had Roman, you had Billy Loomis's mum. Obviously Chewie came back. But it's weird that they look older because they're not meant to look like they're still alive. So yeah. I just thought that was kind of weird. I will say, even if they couldn't get the actors, I felt like it would have been cool if, because they're trying to taunt Sydney, if Dewey mentioned, because he mentioned friends, if he mentioned Tatum, his sister, and also Sid's best friend that Sydney also named her daughter after, or when Roman goes how important family is, that he mentioned Jill, who was also family. It was, yeah, Sydney's cousin, and she was also Ghostface, because I'm surely by now that, even if, yeah, mentioning that she's Ghostface would matter, but I'm sure, like, Gale, as soon as they came out of Scream 4, the hospital, Gale would have immediately, like, Jill's Ghostface, because that's what Gale does. Now, another thing as well that I kind of, at first was like, how would they know but that? But then I was like, it's probably because Gale in a book was like, oh, and Stu said this, which is when Stu was like, I always had a thing for you, because obviously you find out that's AI, so I'm like, how would he know that? But then I'm guessing it was because of like a Gale. Yeah, they could link that to back, oh, Gale wrote it in a book kind of thing. But yeah, taking out Ghostface, I didn't mind the story. I think it could have been better if they actually acted on the Stu thing, because a lot of fans want that, and it also seemed like they were making fun of anyone that thought that, because yeah, anytime they brought up Stu being like possibility of him being alive, another character would be like, no, he's dead, that's stupid, he's dead, which just kind of felt like it was shitting on its fans for thinking that Stu could be alive, because looking at it, Stu being alive is a possibility if you look at the Scream rules. Yeah, he wasn't shot in the head. He had a TV fall on him, but he wasn't shot in the head. There is a possibility of him being alive, and it makes sense. He's got motive to want to kill Sydney and Gale. Why didn't you act on it, and why did you use him? Because surely you knew it was going to end badly if you didn't use him as Ghostface by the amount of people that like Stu. Yeah. But, yeah, who knows? I doubt it, but maybe if there's a Scream 8, yeah, they will actually use it, and there'll be like a whole thing where he planned all of this all along. But I doubt it. Yeah, but hey, yeah, I think besides Ghostface, I didn't mind the story. It was all right. Yeah, it was just cool to see Sydney come back as well. Obviously, yeah, Sydney and Gale, that was great. But yeah, tell me what your thoughts were on Scream 7. Did you like it? Did you enjoy it? Did you hate it? Yeah. Also, what's your favourite Scream film? Mine, I think, is one of the most hated, which is Scream 3. I thought it was cool that there was a different, yeah, it was changed up. There was only one Ghostface instead of two. I kind of enjoyed it. I will say, rewatching it, I kind of realised that Dewey's just falling downstairs in nearly every film. Yeah, or at least 1, 2, and 3, he's just falling downstairs. But yeah, you also can't beat the classic of 1, 2, and 3. I think they're like the best. But yeah, tell me what your opinions are on Scream, your favourite one, if you liked Scream 7 or if you didn't like it. Till then, see you next time.